Hey guys, I'm Fraser, this is Sean, and this is Tool Talk. So today we're here to talk about iCandy and YS Park combs. So before we get into it, what's the last barber item that you bought for your toolkit?
Last barber item I bought was the Barbers Pro Barber Backpack.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I ride around on a motorbike. I like to carry all my tools with me, and it's a little bit hard if I've got a big plastic toolbox.
So what would be your most used tool in your toolkit?
Hands down, my most used tool would be my Wall Cordless Legend clippers.
Oh yeah?
Absolutely, yeah.
They just launched?
They just launched, and I'm finding I'm using them for every haircut.
What in your toolkit, what's due for an upgrade?
Due for an upgrade, probably
Every barber would say everything in their toolkit,
yeah,
right?
everything. We'd all want to. No, probably my thinning scissors and my my scissor over comb scissors.
Yeah.
I've got a set of 7-inch scissors that are starting to get a little bit beat up now, and my thinning scissors as well, so they're probably due for an upgrade soon.
It's interesting with scissors too, because I find it's probably one of the last tools that barbers would invest in, you know, all about the clippers and obviously the backpacks and all the necessities and accessories and stuff, but I just find that scissors is probably always a bit of a last agenda for toolkits. What do you think?
I think so too. I think, you know, we overlook how much we use our scissors, because the first thing we use often is clippers. You know, you start the haircut off with clippers, but the scissors are a really important part of the toolkit.
The word on the street or in your barber shop, what are you most excited for that's coming?
The Low Pro FX
from
Barbers, yeah. I think everyone's really keen to get their hands on those. You know, you've got that more ergonomic shape, a little bit less of the flashy stuff. I'm not a big fan of bright gold stuff myself, so having that more traditional shape and that more traditional look, but with that power and that branding that you get from Barbers.
I think it's going to be a game changer, because I think something really cool about it. I love weighted tools, you know. It really helps create some stability, and it takes you back to that like traditional era of barbering when clippers were all corded and they're all really heavy.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for it. It's got that new wedge blade, so really excited for that one. Alrighty, so combs and scissors. We're here to, obviously, you know, Tool Talk. We want to talk about YS Park, your love for it, your knowledge about it, and my knowledge about it, and my love for it, and then iCandy scissors as well. So that's really important. Scissors and combs, they go hand in hand together, and that's why we're talking about both of them today. Okay, so Sean, tell me, YS Park, why do you love it?
It's all about the build quality of the comb. You know, you've got a well-built brand based on high quality tools, and you know, every time you get a YS Park comb, they're made of high quality plastic, it's heat resistant, and they really, really focus on the teeth of the comb as well.
Yep, well, I just wanted to share one of my combs that I love. This one here, the teeth are a lot wider on this comb than your normal, more traditional YS Park comb, and obviously normal combs, but this would be used for more natural cutting, okay? So a lot of point cutting, sliding, when you want to add a lot more texture in, and you're working with different textures of hair, but you don't want to completely stretch it out and get the hair, a lot of tension through the hair. So I really love this comb. And something really interesting that Sean just shared with me is the holes on the YS Park comb, because that's one of their trademarks, right?
One of their trademarks, yeah, is these holes that they have along the ridged handle. These are all exactly 1 centimetre apart. So if you need to actually measure distances between things, or if you want to get very specific with your lengths of your fringes coming down over the eyebrows, or even when you're doing some hairdressing and colouring, you can guarantee that those holes are always going to be 1 centimetre apart.
So you'd use that, you could use that for you know, solid form, so a lot longer stuff, but obviously when you're working with wavy or curly hair, doing like mid-length or classic mid-length cuts, you'd use something like that. You could even, yeah, it's really cool, help measure your style.
Absolutely.
Tell me about your favourite comb.
My favourite comb is the Signature Barber comb. So that's this one here. So this is the Signature Barber comb. It comes in 2 different strengths. Big feature of it is the handle. You know, I don't always use 2 different teeth types when I'm just doing standard haircuts throughout the day. I just want to be able to pick up the hair effectively, bring it back and then start cutting. It's also got angled teeth on it, so the teeth are angled back down towards the base of the comb. So when you're using shorter hair, it pulls it straight towards you every single time.
I think it's great. Barber combs, it's always good having a handle too, like this one here. Really good for dexterity with your C grip. But this one here, traditional, we all love clipper over comb in barbering. You know, clipper over comb is a really great way to build shape and structure throughout a haircut. So I love this comb. This is one of their carbon combs.
This is one of the carbon combs, yeah.
Also got the trademark holes in it, but really, really wide. It's really great to match your clipper blade, so you can get some really nice clean movement, nice square shape or graduation, whatever you're doing. So this is a really popular one too. Obviously, movement and texture is becoming a really big thing in barbering. So this comb here, I reckon this is probably my most used one. I've got the you know, ability to be able to use my fine tooth to get a really nice tension on hair, or even if I'm doing some fine detail scissor over comb. And then I've got my traditional wide tooth. And the thing I love about YS Park is the sectioning tooth. Okay, so this sectioning tooth is going to enable me to get some really nice clean sectioning on top, especially when I'm sectioning the top from the bottom.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I think the separate tooth gets overlooked a lot. I know that for a lot of other combs, I've snapped that tooth off before, trying to get that ability to section hair. But you know, the fact that it comes built into the comb is it's an awesome feature, and it comes with pretty much all of their combs.
All right, so tell me about this comb.
This right here is probably the best seller of the YS Park collection. So this is the French color comb or French cutting comb. The best feature about this is its strength. It's an incredibly rigid comb. It's nice and thick along the top ridge, and you've also got the fine teeth with their regular tooth as well. So you have that real strong ability to pull through the hair, and it's incredibly versatile because it's so thick.
Yeah, and I think in barbering too, it's going to be one of the best sellers. It's got your sectioning tooth, it's versatile for scissor work or even clipper work as well. But iCandy scissors. So I want to talk about, obviously they complement each other, right? So this scissor here is the All-Star, so the 6-inch All-Star, made from a 440C Japanese steel. These two, one of my favorites together. Like I said, we've got our wide tooth when I want to do some nice relaxed scissor over comb. But texture in barbering, like I said, it's getting really, really big. So for this, coming through splicing, point cutting, but these are a really great scissor. Love these ones.
Yeah, so this is their Damascus steel limited edition scissor. These are just absolutely fantastic. They're so rock solid with that hardened steel and that additional strength. And you know, having them come in a smaller size is really important for point cutting. Not all barbers want to use large 7-inch shears. I know that, you know, sometimes it's better to move faster, but you still need that ability to be able to work in fine detail.
Yeah, fine detail cutting, isn't it? So talking about 7-inch, I'm using this here is the Athena. One of the coolest things about this scissor is we've got that slight drop in the handle. This is really great for handling dexterity. You keep your wrist nice and straight when you're cutting, which is important to look after ourselves as we're cutting. But yeah, using a longer comb, I'd probably go with, I do a lot of stuff with this one, so nice wide tooth coming through, scissor over comb. These go hand in hand together, great. Yeah, so that's your Athena, so they use a 440C as well.
Absolutely, yeah, I've got these in a 6-inch at the moment for my standard cutting through the top, and it really allows me to get that wrist nice and level without fatiguing my arm when I'm moving through. And then when I'm using it for scissor over comb, same thing, just keeps it nice and level. Yeah,
you can do some really nice clean work with that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
When it comes to like point cutting and sliding, you know, I'm going to go to my Electro or my Damascus, but Electro is really great. I love these. They're a little bit lighter than the All-Star. They come in 3 different colors and a couple of different sizes as well. But these are really great for sliding and point cutting, a little bit easier to handle with longer hair. And then obviously with your, something that I love and miss at the moment, so I'd probably use these two. So feather razor, the iCandy feather razor, these are great. A technique that I'm seeing a lot at the moment is obviously when we're blending, we want some nice clean shape, but you want to add a little bit of softness and texture, so you can use your traditional scissor over comb method, but it's a matter of getting your feather razor. This is another technique. We're coming through and we're just feathering the hair. So, I mean, iCandy obviously started on the Gold Coast, but they use high quality Japanese steel, and then YS Park. But tell me, YS Park, we spoke about it before, the name, the story, where'd it come from?
Yeah, so YS Park started in Japan by a guy named Young-Soo Park, who had a real strong passion for hairdressing. So he started his training in 1972 and traveled all over the world before he came back to Japan. So he started his own salon, and then with his own work in the salon, he's like, I need to make better tools. So in 1987, he started YS Park Tools, effectively being able to build the right kind of combs, the right kind of brushes and clips that suits his needs and his style. Yeah. And the funny thing is that he still works in that shop at least 2 days a week, even though he's still with the brand. Yeah.
That's really cool. All right, so there's a lot of combs here, a lot of scissors. At the end of the day, you know, not all barbers want to have a bucket load of tools. Yeah. For me, comb-wise, I'd probably go to a black comb. That's just me. I like those more traditional colours. These are probably a little bit bright for me. But I definitely love this comb here and the versatility of it. And then I can't go past a clipper over comb, man. Like, you know, this comb here is, I just love this for clipper over comb and a nice wide comb. What about you, Sean? What do you love and why?
My big two, I really stick with the clipper comb. So I have this in the slightly thicker one, so it doesn't flex much on the head, and these two are the go-to for me. I don't like bright colours, I don't like gold scissors, all that sort of stuff. Big fan of the old dad maroon that comes in so many barbering things.
Yeah.
All about silver scissors with the Athenas, and then these two combs. I could use these all day and not get sick.
That's that traditional in you, eh? You love it?
Yeah, it's a bit traditional, yeah.
Yeah.
And same, I'm not a big fan of bright, bold colorways. Not really my style.
Yep. Oh, you know something I forgot to talk about actually?
Ooh.
This one, this is cool. So this is their iCandy's newer scissor now. Yeah, so this is the Sword Pro. Beautiful scissor. The coolest thing I love about this is most scissors 5.5, 6, 6.5. This one 6.1 and a 6.6, so it's really cool. But yeah, it uses a VG10 steel, so have a feel of them, Sean.
I do love that wider blade as well.
Do you reckon for you, like a bit like more traditional stuff, do you reckon that feels a little bit still traditional, or a little bit blingy, or
I think that feels traditional. You know, you've got this sort of hammered steel style, but it's really nice to hang on to because it completely coats the outside of the grip of the scissors, and with that wider blade, it still feels like a traditional scissor. It's not decorative for the sake of being decorative, it's a functionality.
When you get a haircut, what scissor do they use with your hair?
They just basically use huge sheep shears, and they just kind of scrape it over the head, basically.
So with scissors, I love 5.5, 6-inch scissors. I've got a pair of 7s, but at the end of the day, when you're picking a scissor, it's something that's got to feel right in your hand. You know, you could be doing anything, point cutting, blunt cutting, scissor over comb, but as long as the scissor feels right in your hand. So when choosing the right size of scissor, it's just what feels right to you, I guess, hey?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. You know, there's this sort of negative energy towards scissors in America, and in particular, they're like, oh, barbering's all 7-inch scissors. It's just whatever feels best. I started with 5.5, so I did all my cuts with those.
Yeah, I actually, when I started with like a 7 and a 7.5, and then I went backwards and went to shorter scissors. So just whatever feels right.
Have you seen like those dudes on YouTube where they'll spin the comb around and they'll cut like this, and then they somehow,
give it a whirl.
I can't, I'll drop these expensive scissors.
Well, hold on to the scissor. Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad. Yeah, so I hold my scissors like that. You've seen me do that. In fact, you told all the other apprentices to not do that.
Ready for this? Spin, pull it out, start combing. That's pretty cool, though.
That's pretty cool.
What do you reckon?
My one is while I'm pumping the chair, and then I stop, and then I fix it up, and then I go in and cut.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time today, Sean. This is Tool Talk, guys. I hope you learned something. Thank you.